My name is Julie Henson, and I'm one of the licensed Unity teachers here at Unity of Columbus. And again, I celebrate our presence together in this Sunday celebration service. Our speaker today is the artist in our community, Jasianna Chaley. You'll hear more from her as we proceed with our service this morning. In Unity of Columbus, we believe that all people are created with sacred worth, and we welcome everyone with love and acceptance as we do our part individually and collectively to promote greater understanding among all people in our spiritual family. And we do support each other. We come together in love and celebration and joy. And it is our intention to help lift each of us to higher understanding, empowered spiritual presence. And again, we give thanks. Now, please join me in our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, all love. Now take another deep breath, and from that statement, hold in consciousness one part of that statement and allow it to move and quicken every cell in your body. And now let's repeat it again together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, all love. Unity is the publisher of the Daily Word magazine. Our daily word for today will be read by our board vice president, Veronica Carter, as she comes forth.
Good morning. Today's daily word for Sunday, October 23rd is prosperity. With God as my source, I live abundantly. No matter how much I have in the bank, the kind of car I drive, or the house I live in, I know these things are mere manifestations of abundance. The source of all prosperity is God. I look beyond appearances to find a deeper meaning of prosperity. Meaningful work that I enjoy doing is part of my prosperity, not only because of what I earn, but also because of the satisfaction I feel when I use my skills. My house becomes a home when filled with people I love and care for. My financial resources don't diminish, but multiply when I share them generously. As I look beyond the good things in my life to the love, the creative insight, and the limitless flow of divine ideas that brought them into manifestation, I discover true abundance. And the Bible verse is Proverbs 8:18, riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and prosperity. So I'm going to repeat the affirmation one more time and invite you to repeat it after me. With God as my source, I live abundantly. Together, with God as my source, I live abundantly. And so it is. Thank you.
And so it is. Thank you, Veronica.
Join me in a meditation song, God is, I am. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now.
your seat, I invite you to take a refreshing, deep breath. Doesn't it feel good to fill your lungs with air and just focus on breathing? Breathing in the peace, joy, abundance, and presence of God within. Today, you will take approximately 22,000 breaths. So it's nice to be able to focus on just a few during this time. We give thanks for this moment in time, this place, this community, and most importantly, the knowing that God is, I am. Breathe deeply as you just consider that God is, I am, and all that that means. Right here and right now. Isn't it wonderful? Let us release and let go of anything and everything that is less than this presence, because in this moment, we are in and at total peace. In your mind's eye, I invite you to take a short walk with me. So gather your things and let's head out the door. We go down the steps and we're going to just walk across the driveway to the meditation garden. It is one of the most beautiful, peaceful gardens in the city. As we walk around together, we all notice the brilliant blue sky and the majestic trees with their colorful leaves. We gather in a circle to more closely appreciate the beauty and the majesty of just one of the trees. You begin to pay closer attention to the details of this tree. These are some of the things you notice about this tree. The tree has too many leaves to count. This reminds you of all the abundance available at any moment. The leaves are varied in size, shape, and color, and yet they are all easily, harmoniously coexisting on the same tree. The leaves are red, gold, orange, green, yellow, and some have a mixture. This makes a pleasant mosaic to gaze upon. Some of the leaves have subtle differences in their markings. The details may be intricate in some. They are individualized and yet maintain some uniformity. The leaves are proudly sharing their treasures. They are expressing as what they are. Some of the branches on the tree are at the top. Some are in the middle. Some closer to the ground. Wherever they're placed, they are contributing their gift, which is to house the leaves, help clean the atmosphere, and bring beauty. The leaves start out each spring as little buds. With time, they grow, spread out, and evolve to their full size. They have everything they need to reach their potential, just like we do. And the most important part of the tree, the foundation, the strength, the hope, is the trunk. So the tree and all its parts live in uniformity and oneness with ease. Each single part of the tree contributes to its growth, success, and beauty. Just like the leaves, branches, and the tree trunk, we have treasures in our mind and heart to be realized. Treasures may be expressed as divine ideas. As you stand and gaze with awe at the beautiful tree, please ask Spirit, the God presence within, for a divine idea to flow into your consciousness. Just one idea, one action step, that will allow more prosperity and abundance into your experience. Listen in the silence. We slowly began to walk back across the driveway, up the steps, and into the sanctuary. There's excitement, expectancy, zeal, and enthusiasm in the air as we take our seats. Everyone is smiling. It is good and very good. I invite you to take one more deep breath and allow yourself to return to this present moment, knowing that prosperity is as close as your next thought. We give thanks for the blessings received this day and those yet to come. And so it is. Amen.
Jasianna's going to sing special music today. Here's for your lyrics.
I'm trying to get mine.
There you go. Is that good?
That's great.
I can play this.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and I see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only and past the main library, which I absolutely adore. I adore the library. Back in the day, before it was all fancy and had all the glass and the big parking garage, it was just a stately, majestic building. I used to go there every Saturday morning. I tried to get there before 10 a.m. because back then they had like 20 or 25 parking spaces on the side. They didn't have the giant parking garage. It was way before Unity or any of these things, but I knew there was something in that library that would help me in my life. On this particular day, though, 2 weeks ago, I noticed the words inscribed in the magnificent Vermont marble on the front of the building. I have forgotten they're there. The words say, "My treasures are within." Light bulb moment, title of a lesson. Our treasures are within, as today's focus scripture says. Greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. 1 John 4:4. As within, so without. We've heard these words so many times. However, as time passes, don't these four little words seem to take on greater meaning? We hear about or notice inflation, especially with food and fuel, supply chain issues, weather events, wars, economic downturns in the stock market, unemployment, underemployment. Some of the issues we face as spiritual beings having a physical experience. How do we navigate this unknown territory and harness the continuous prosperity that we desire? That is our birthright. As the daily word for October 1st of this month reminded us, we relax and focus on the spiritual principles we know and trust. There is always an abundance of good despite appearances to the contrary. Unity Prosperity Minister Catherine Ponder, 95 years young, echoes this in her well-known book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. Mental and spiritual laws are so powerful that they can be used to multiply, neutralize, or even reverse natural law. When used by the mind of humankind, there are often results that seem miraculous on the physical plane. I dare say that everyone in here today in person, and if you're watching later, the same, has experienced one or more miracles this year. Can I see a hand? Great. In his book titled Prosperity, Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore poses this question: are you meditating and praying for understanding of the omnipresent substance? If you are, it will come and demonstrate prosperity for you. What is substance? It's the divine idea underlying the reality of all things. It permeates as in and through everything and everywhere present. It is the living energy of which everything is made. So from this substance, we can form whatever we will according to our faith and our understanding. Charles Fillmore states that clothing is an idea. Food is an idea. Every manifested thing is an idea of substance. Are the ideas in your mind based on abundance or lack? We know everything is energy. One of my mentors calls substance the materialization of energy. Financial abundance is an important part of prosperity, right? God, our Spirit, sends us divine ideas which can be used to produce and or provide value. In our culture, the more value provided, the higher the compensation can be. Just think if you were the one who had the idea for Starbucks, DoorDash, Nike, Honda, Tesla, the cell phone, or even the computer. I can't go a day without Google Catherine Ponder was famous for saying, "There's gold dust in the air." It's a sin to be poor. Sinning means missing the mark, error thinking regarding our prosperity and financial abundance. So here are 3 practical steps to express our treasures within and the world without. Number 1, let go of limiting beliefs by reframing. A friend and colleague of mine has 2 sons, both of which are now adults. When her older son was young, he was diagnosed with 3 conditions, one of which was ADHD, attention deficit disorder. After they left the doctor's office, he asked his mom, "What does all that mean? Am I different from everybody else?" She decided right then and there to reframe these diagnoses. She said, "You're a genius. You have superpowers." He said, "I have superpowers?" "You have superpowers." And she started reading to him and her other son as well every night until they were 10 years old. Over time, guess what? Her son Jared became a computer whiz, and he loved gaming. In college, he decided to major in Japanese and Chinese. He started a gaming company. He moved to China. One day she received a call. "Mom, I'm in the China version of 4 magazines, 30 Under 30. This was in the year 2014. "I sold my company. I'm going to start another one. Oh yeah, and by the way, you'll never have to worry about money again. I'm a multimillionaire." We trust and believe that our blessings are going to come. However, we don't know how or through whom, do we? My friend said that labeling can be harmful and reframing can change an otherwise lifelong limiting belief into an empowering belief. Her name is Rebecca, and she started a program which originated right here in Columbus, Ohio, called I Believe in Me. It's an empowerment program for children, starting as young as the age of 5. So the next time you hear yourself saying, "I don't know how, I can't afford it," think about reframing that belief into an empowering one. Unity's Emmett Fox wrote, "To have successful lives, we build up the mental equivalent that we want and get rid of the mental equivalent we don't want." Step 2 is to allow yourself to receive. Sometimes we don't allow ourselves to receive our good. For example, do you easily receive compliments? If someone says, "I like your shirt," or "that tie matches your eyes," or "I like your car," do you usually respond with "thank you"? Or do you say, "Well, it's really old. It only costs this much"? I call that deflecting. In a group yesterday, I offered someone a compliment, and they deflected. And I only noticed that because it's something I'm working on. Everyone is our mirror, right? We're all connected. If someone offers you a gift, support, or help, can you say yes or no without a narrative? This week, a friend offered to drive me to an appointment. Eventually, I said, "That would be great, thank you," after I gave a narrative. "It's pretty early. Are you sure? Do you really want to do it? Do you mind?" When someone offers lunch, a gift, a ride, support of any kind, they probably thought about it before asking. The law is giving and receiving. Both are necessary to complete the circle. We pray for things: prosperity, good health, a better job, happy surprises, new friends. And when the opportunity or answer is presented, we sometimes go, "Oh, that's okay." When we decline to receive gratefully and gracefully, that denies someone else's opportunity to be of service. I was recently reminded of the benefit of positive affirmations and creating a mindset to receive. I visited my hometown to go to an exhibit at the museum. Adjacent to the museum was an eating spot called the Greatness Cafe. It's owned by 2 young men who just want to share positive energy and encourage excellence, especially in kids. The food is healthy. It's all cooked from scratch and scrumptious. All positive reviews on Yelp. As an example, this restaurant, the orange juice is freshly squeezed. The tomato basil soup I ordered had been simmered for 5 hours. They give free samples, and the service was impeccable. And the best part, all the menu items have affirmation names. For instance, there is a salad named I Am Healthy, a panini sandwich named I Am Honest, a bowl named I Am Valuable, a drink named I Am Kind, and one named I Am Creative, where you get to tell them whatever you want in there. So you create it yourself, you get to practice it. And after you order, the gentleman asks your name, and he writes your name with your affirmation on your food packaging. So as I enjoyed my food, I kept looking at myself as successful and loyal because that's what I had ordered, and that's what he wrote on my packaging. He also markets a kid's coloring book called I Am. It's an affirmation program. I was in a high receiving mode when I left there, and I was happy all the way back home. I'm thinking about driving up there again just to eat at that little cafe. It was great. When we allow receiving to be easy, things can happen quickly also. A member of our community, Marguerite, wanted a newer car. So typically, when you want a new car, you go shopping at the dealer, you look online, you might go to eBay, you tell your friends, etc. She told 2 people. A short time later, one Sunday, she said, hey, come out and see my new to me car. It's a 2008 model. And we're like, oh. We were astonished to see an immaculate showroom-ready car with no scratches or dents, 21,000 miles. An associate of hers had a friend in another city who said he would be happy to sell the seldom-driven vehicle because it was just sitting in his garage. And because of market conditions, she received a very high price for her older vehicle. In her book, Think and Grow Rich, New Thought writer Pam Grout shares the story of a lady who skipped the whole shopping process. She won a brand new, fully loaded SUV in a contest. We can have anything we can mentally accept, but we must mentally accept it first. Catherine Ponder. And step number 3, be that which you seek. At the grocery store a few weeks ago, there was this cart filled with the brim. It had all kinds of meat in there, all kinds of sauces, all kinds of fixings. And we wondered whose cart it was. There were only 2 lines open. Everything else was self-serve, and the lines were very long. And so somebody just pushed it aside. When the lady returned, whose cart it was, the man behind me jokingly asked her, what are you doing, running a restaurant? And she said, well, it is my dream to have a restaurant. For now, though, I cook out of my house. My friends get orders for me, and it's growing by word of mouth. I thought that was very cool, because he was making a joke, and here it was the truth. This reminds me of Charles Fillmore's famous quote at age 93. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm, and spring forth with a mighty faith to do those things that ought to be done by me. And lastly, a joy about serving for the joy of serving. In 2014, I was working on a project. My supervisor invited me to her church, where her husband was the minister. She advised they were from Nigeria, and she thought I would enjoy it. August 24th, 2014, I attended the service. I will never forget the date. The church was a small storefront and maybe seated about 100 people. As I approached the building, I heard this music blaring from the speakers, and I was like, oh, I was raised in a Baptist church, so I was like, oh, this is going to be a spirited, fun service. Imagine my surprise when I got inside and I saw there were 3 people: the minister, his wife, and me. So I thought, well, we're going to have a short version of the service. We're going to have a Bible study, maybe a discussion. No. The minister proceeded with the service as scheduled. Later, I reminded myself, where 2 or 3 are gathered, there will I be in the midst. So then, with all the excitement, zeal, enthusiasm, and passion that he had, he shared a sermon that I will always remember. I call it The Keyboardist. There was a couple affiliated with the church he knew of in Kenya. The gentleman was a talented musician, singer, songwriter, and keyboardist. His dream was to be a professional musician. However, he was living in New York, I believe, and he was not able to make a living. So the church back home had raised funds for him and his wife to return home to Kenya. They were at Heathrow Airport in London on a layover. He had his keyboard, and the divine idea came to him to share music. This is years ago, of course. So he and his wife set up the keyboard right in the lobby of the airport. They sung, they played, they raised the energy there. They got a lot of attention and gratitude and a few donations. As he was packing up his equipment, a gentleman approached and said, "You are gifted. We have some projects you would be perfect for. Are you interested?" "Yes, of course, great." The keyboardist was signed to a lucrative 7-figure recording contract. The gentleman was an executive with Sony Music. At the end of the service, I had tears streaming down my face, and I asked the minister, "Is that a true story?" "Absolutely," he said. And then he asked me, "What do you have in your house?" Or as Michael Beckwith asked us, what is trying to emerge in you? Charles Fillmore's words, "We shall serve for the joy of serving, and prosperity will flow to us and through us, and streams of plenty. Knowledge is power. The application, better known as action, of knowledge is powerful. What treasures do you have in your house? As within, so without. Go within or go without. Always our choice. God bless you. Thank you.
And God bless you, Jasianna. Thank you for that inspiring message. Thank you. And now is the time in our service when we tithe the gifts of our treasure. We prosper again, as Jasianna has reminded us, through giving and receiving. Our ministry is supported by your tax-deductible tithes, gifts, and love offerings. And we are so grateful for each and every one of you. We live in an abundant universe, and I invite you to affirm with me our offering blessing. I'll speak it once and ask you to repeat it with me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. Together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give, and all I receive, and I am grateful. And we give thanks for each of you for being here. We are so blessed in so many ways, and the abundant treasure in our universe. We acknowledge, we honor, and we claim. We give thanks to Jim Maneri for our music this morning. And Jasianna, that's the first time you've ever sung here. You have such a beautiful voice. Thank you. I love that song. And we give warm thanks to all of those who make this service the wonderful experience that it is. We do have some announcements, and they're on the screen, but I'll read them. Today we have a new member orientation that starts at 12:30 p.m. It will be led by our own Darren Wells. So if you have an interest in becoming a member of the church and you have not attended one of these orientation services, please do so. Did you want to say more, Darren? He says he's fine, okay. We are having our fall rummage sale October the 29th. It'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning and we will wrap up at 2. Again, we're looking for volunteers. There's a sign-up sheet in the lobby, so consider coming out and helping with that event. We have some upcoming workshops. Aiding Your Soul's Journey with Handwriting. Roxy Ball is going to lead that workshop. And I guarantee you, you will learn a lot of spiritual lessons from that workshop. Every letter that you write has a spiritual meaning, and it's based on Vamila Rogers' work. It's quite an experience. I encourage you to be here. That's going to be November the 13th from 12:30 until approximately 1:30. It'll be about an hour. We also have a local author here with us on November 27th. Carl Gruber will be giving a workshop on building a rock-solid foundation with spirituality and the law of attraction. Is there anything else? Oh, our board nominating process is now open. If you are an active member of Unity of Columbus, then be prepared. Darren does want to speak to that one.
You knew I was coming. You didn't know what. That's all good. Good morning, friends. I am the chair of your board nominating committee for this year, and I invite you, if you are an active member, to consider board service. There are many benefits and blessings to serving on the Board of Trustees. I served on this board for the better part of 7 years, most of which as president, and it is my great joy. It has brought me many lessons in life and blessings that I cannot say with words, but I feel so grateful to have served in this way. And I'm going to call up our board secretary, Pam Cobb, who will speak to her experience serving on the board. If you have any questions, please see me after service. And we also have our board liaison, Veronica Carter, in the back there, and Chris Putnam, who's our congregational rep. So any of the three of us, come and see us after service. And come on up.
I was afraid I was going to have to go on after Jasianna. But we talk a lot in Unity about synchronicity, and I was thinking about, as a Unity member, we all give our time, talent, and treasures, and then what's the service about today? I mean, I knew you were speaking, but I didn't know what you were speaking on. And so I feel like, as Darren does, that I have benefited enormously from my couple of stints that I've had on the board. It has truly deepened my, I think the thing that's helped me with the most is being an active listener. So focusing more on what people are saying and then using my powers of understanding and benefiting by the wisdom around me to make decisions. And as a board member, we do expect, your time, talent, and treasures, but we also, our expectation is that you will help us in moving forward with the ministry. So you have an opportunity to engage in everything that's going on in the church and give a little direction to it. Try to, kind of like that missile that hit that asteroid and just moved it just a little bit. You could kind of move it a little bit in the direction you'd like to see with some people that are hopefully actively listening to you as well. One thing, a term I learned this morning was relationship diversity. Apparently this is a new term, and it talks about the more and different kinds of relationships you have in your life, the more happier you are. So this is, and I was trying to put words to that. Well, what is this? What does this look like? And one of the ways it looks is that you're having a different relationship with people here at the church, not just, sitting and listening to us, not just sharing in fellowship, but also deepening relationships with the speakers and the musicians and the wonderful people that have and continue to serve on the board. So, speaking of fellowship, I think we're just about ready for that. Thank you, Terry, for setting that up for us this morning. I appreciate everything you do around here, including developing that beautiful meditation garden. So, thanks.
Thank you, Pam. And it is a marvelous opportunity to put these teachings into practice. And go see that garden after fellowship, by the way. All right, thank you.
And now let us stand and affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. In closing, let us raise our consciousness one person, one mind, one heart at a time. Please join me in singing our hymnal number 3, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Do a blessing.
Treasure hunt within. Apply what you know and go!
Woo!